Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Or should I say, good evening, my beautiful collection of broken toys, discarded misfits, and misunderstood masterpieces. Because that's what you are, aren't you? A masterpiece, painted in scars, a symphony, played on broken strings, and yet somehow, oh somehow, you rise. Tell me, Dad, Mama, how the hell did they raise this legend? You ever sit with that thought? You ever feel the world looking at you with eyes that scream, this one wasn't supposed to make it? This one wasn't supposed to carry the fire, the chaos, the crown. And yet here you stand. And Father's Day, Father's Day never saw it coming, because you became the kind of legend that fathers pray their children become, and the kind of nightmare they secretly fear their children might face. See, society loves a good son, a good daughter, a good, obedient little lamb. But what they don't love is the wolf that those lambs raise in their house by accident. Daddy thought he was teaching discipline. Mama thought she was teaching manners. But what they really did, they taught you how to take pain and mold it into a weapon sharper than any blade. They thought bedtime stories would tame you. They thought chores and rules would chain you. But no, all it did was sharpen your teeth, sharpen your instincts, sharpen your ability to survive. They gave you scraps, and you turned scraps into strategy. They gave you silence, and you turned silence into strength. They gave you doubts, and you turned doubts into destiny. Oh, but here's the joke. They didn't even realize it. Dad, Mama, they were just fumbling through life like everyone else. Yet somehow, by mistake, by miracle, by madness, they raised a storm. Not a child, not a little angel, no. They raised a walking rebellion. They raised the kind of person who doesn't knock politely at the doors of history, but kicks them down and paints the floor red while laughing. And that's why they whisper when you walk into the room. That's why Father's Day never saw it coming. Because what you carry is not just family blood. It's every lesson of pain, every slap of reality, every unspoken moment where you had to raise yourself. You became your own father, your own protector, your own executioner. And Mama, Papa, they accidentally gave birth to the very legend they never could control. They look at you and ask, how did this happen? How did the little one, the quiet one, the ignored one, turn into this giant of chaos? How did the soft heart they tried to silence become iron? How did the tears they ignored become fire? I'll tell you how. Because pain has two paths. One breaks you, but the other builds you into something no one recognizes. And you, my dear, you chose the second. You took every punishment and turned it into prophecy. You took every insult and turned it into impact. You took every chain and welded it into armor. Now people watch you and they panic. Who raised you? They ask. What kind of monster factory did you crawl out of? But they don't get it, do they? It wasn't a factory. It wasn't a system. It was just two confused souls, Dad and Mama, fumbling with a storm they didn't understand. And somehow, their clumsy love, their mistakes, their discipline, their silence, it all melted into the recipe for legend. So Father's Day, oh, Father's Day never saw it coming. Because instead of just raising a son or a daughter, they accidentally unleashed a revolution, and now the world has to deal with you. So here's the truth. You don't owe them answers. You don't owe them explanations. You don't even owe them gratitude. What you owe is to yourself. To look in the mirror and realize you are the chaos they birthed. You are the masterpiece they didn't sign their name on. You are the story Father's Day wasn't prepared to celebrate. Because Father's Day loves safe stories, smiles, ties, barbecues, little Hallmark cards. But you are the living contradiction, a storm disguised as their child. And that storm doesn't need a holiday to validate its existence. Dad? Mama? How tough did they raise this legend? They didn't. You did. And that's the punchline. That's why the world fears you, envies you, hates you, admires you. Because legends aren't raised. Legends are forged in the dark. And you, my dear misfit, you are the darkest flame they never saw coming. You ever remember those little dinners at home? Oh, the family table. Plates clinking, forks scraping, everyone pretending everything's normal. But you sat there quiet, smiling politely while in your head you whispered, "One day, you'll all see what kind of creature you've raised." Because while Dad was ranting about responsibility and Mama was sighing about respect, you weren't just listening, you were taking notes. Every word, every lecture, every punishment. You carved it into your bones like scripture. They thought they were building obedience, but in reality, they were hammering steel into your spine. Father's Day morning, all across the suburbs, kids handing ties, mugs, tools, safe little gifts. "Thanks, Dad," they chirp. Cute, predictable, disposable. But you, oh no, you were never going to play that Hallmark fantasy because you weren't born to hand over a tie. You were born to choke destiny with that tie if it dared step in your way. While the world was planning barbecue smiles, you were planning revolutions in silence. While the neighbors bought cards, you sharpened your soul into a blade that could cut through centuries. Do you understand the weight of that? You weren't supposed to be this. You weren't supposed to survive the nights of silence. You weren't supposed to walk through fire and come out laughing. But Mama's tears, they taught you empathy and rage. Dad's sternness, it taught you precision and cruelty, the absence of answers. It taught you to build your own. Every single thing they did, right, wrong, broken, accidental, was alchemy. And the gold they created is you. They didn't raise a child. They raised a weapon that even they can't wield anymore. They raised a mirror that shows society its ugliest reflection. They raised a legend that belongs to no holiday, no tradition, no father, no mother. A legend that belongs to the chaos of history itself. So when the world stares and screams, "Dad? Mama? How tough did they raise this legend?" Let them scream, because the truth is that Father's Day was never about your father at all. It was about the day you stepped into that role and fathered yourself into the monster, the genius, the firestorm you are today. Father's Day never saw it coming. Mother's Day never saw it coming. Hell, the whole damn calendar never saw you coming. And that, my dear audience, is why you are untouchable. That is why you are unstoppable. Because legends aren't born from roses and ribbons. They are carved from ashes, silence, and blood.